So, Gary, if you are the lead digital forensics investigator in Moscow, Idaho, at that quadruple homicide, and you're the lead guy on the cyber side, what is the first, second, third thing you're doing when you arrive on scene or you're handed the case?
Our phones today, without fail, they're computers. They're not phones, right? They're computers that you can make a call on these days, right? They contain all your information, all your photos, all your activity. They upload to the cloud. So the first thing I think we do in most crimes today, even we investigate, is we want to get hold of the phone or the computer, the laptops. So securing those devices first is usually one of the most important things to do, because they'll hold a lot of information within a house. Ring cameras, any sort of surrounding surveillance systems that's saving data is also important as well. And then going out to these other providers, like your internet service provider, looking for activity, what time activity was done. Cell phone providers, when was the last ping off that cell phone, and where was it? So there's a range of things, but like Tom had mentioned, some of that stuff takes a long time to do. That would be that's kind of the initial steps in any sort of investigation, I believe, on the cyber side.
I'm a very tactile kind of guy, so it's hard, and I'm definitely not a computer guy, but how's everything being organized? And Tom, I'll throw this to you. So you go in, you've got Ring camera footage, you've got tons of I've got 30,000 photos just on my phone. How do investigators, it's inordinate amount of information. How are you even beginning to organize that to then investigate everything? It seems very daunting.
It can be. This case honestly would be the Idaho murders, a smaller case on the amount of digital evidence you're looking at, because you have four victims, the roommates. If they each had a device in a computer, it's only 12 devices, and they're not large servers with a lot of storage. You got to identify how much you have, and if it's more than one analyst or forensic examiner can handle, you're going to bring in a team, and you're going to parse it up based on where the data came from, or the type of data, or go by person and let people focus on that. But thankfully, the forensic software that we use has come a long way in that you can ingest terabytes of data. A lot of times it depends on the amount of data and who's going to do the analysis. A lot of times agents or detectives will want to be actively involved. In this case, probably not, because it's just too high profile, and they got enough leads to run on themselves from traditional leads. So the examiner themselves is going through looking for anything that could be a clue or evidence of the crime, or potentially a lead. How much data do you have? And you have to break it down into teams. In this case, there's going to be a lot of small pieces of digital evidence that have to be put together from all the social media accounts, all the email accounts. And you can do it piece by piece as it comes in too, and just add it to the case as they go.
And Tom, you're talking about keywords, but Gary, let's say police, there's been talk about, and I don't want to single anyone out, but there has been talk about, quote unquote, the hoodie guy, right? Let's say you want to see if he appears in any photos on one of the victim's phones. Is there a way is there technology, which I assume there is, to go through a victim's phone and search for a face, do a facial scan of all the photos to see if that person appears in any of the victim's photos?
Actually, yeah, that's actually a good question. And the answer is yes, for the most part. So it's not a perfect science yet, right? Facial recognition. There's a couple of things. Like Tom said, the forensic software has come a long way. We have some great tools. You could do something as simple as, just show me all photos that have skin tone colors in them, right? And this way you get rid of all the other nonsense. And then once you have that, facial recognition, whether it's the online stuff now, like Google Photos does facial recognition, or Facebook used to do it, or offline tools where you start comparing stuff. That can be done pretty rapidly now with computers. So that's not science fiction in the future. That's now.